A singing bowl is an instrument of meditation that comes from Tibet. You strike it like you would a gong, and the vibrations are meant to induce a different state of consciousness. Here, a rather serious and displeased looking face appears in the singing bowl after it's filled with water and struck. It can't be a reflection of the person filming because there's no body underneath and obviously no camera. I think this is probably edited because of the low resolution, but then again, this video could be taken from a remote monastery that has little use for modern technology. This Ukrainian dashcam captures one of the highest resolution highway ghost encounters I have ever seen. Watch this part and tell me what is being said here if possible. I would really like to have a legitimate translation of this potentially supernatural message. The driver speeds off after she falls back and disappears, and does not stop until they are back to civilization. This professional quality of this video makes me wonder if this is from a European movie or television show. If not, it almost looks like a well-constructed hologram. I could find no other source for this video, so be sure to let me know if this is amateur footage or something from mainstream media. A YouTuber named Dagger Production is playing the remastered Call of Duty when he hears someone messing with the entrance to his house. According to Dagger Productions, this is the exact moment the encounter began. Listen closely to this part and you'll hear what sounds like the front door slamming as the person runs away. It sounds like the door slams from the other side of the house, but Dagger Productions returns to his room a second later. He wouldn't be able to slam the far door and get back to the camera that fast if he was just making this up. A man has a rather big problem in a small room. His lights are turning on and off on their own, and he can't figure out why. Across from him is a light switch that he is standing nowhere near. Not that pressing the light switch makes much of a difference. The light keeps turning on and off in rhythmic intervals regardless, like something's trying to communicate to him its presence. After 5 minutes, it finally stops through no doing of its own, and it never happens again. He shows every wall except the one to his immediate left, so perhaps a second person is standing by a dimmer switch to fake this video. But what's weird is how, almost 2 years ago to the very day, he caught something on camera that was bizarre. A door that kept opening on its own.
Staying and resting, but still safe and a bit uncomfortable. So give it 6.
No one is visible on the other side of the door when it oddly opens. Like the lights, the door only did this for a single day and never again. Was a ghost to blame? There's a YouTuber named Anonymous Web who's developed a scary habit, the need to buy scary things off of the deep web. His channel has only been around for a few months, and already he's gotten himself into more trouble than he was expecting, but more on that in a second. First, let's go over some of his most recent buys. On March 7th, 2020, a deep web package arrives after a 3-week wait. Anonymous Web had already given up hope that he would ever get it, and figured he had been ripped off. Seeing it in person fills him with unexplainable dread before he even opens it because he had ordered it from a website about witchcraft and demonology. Inside is a colorful doll with a dark message. Pins are stuck in its feet, face, and forehead. A yellow page appears to be instructions to do some sort of ritual. Here are the steps. First, he sprinkles some kind of black ash around the doll in a circle. Tell me if this looks like someone's cremated remains. Next, he puts the candles on both sides of the doll. The lighter that came in the box doesn't work, so he gets up to find another one. And at 17 minutes and 35 seconds, something happens. The doll appears to move ever so slightly. If this was someone's remains, then maybe he transferred their life into the doll. Anonymous Web doesn't think much of it until he gets another potentially possessed dark web doll on May 16th, 2020. He buys the box from the same person, which doesn't make sense if he thinks the first one didn't work, but maybe he saw the part where it moved and bought one more. The doll has a male symbol on its forehead, to the right of which is a triangle, perhaps an all-seeing pyramid eye, with black spikes pushed through. Holes are drilled in the mouth to form a wicked smile. A burnt letter is soaked in something. It reads, "In night I seek, in dark I breathe, and if you say its name twice, the curse is said to end your life." Its name is Ken Ken. You're only supposed to say it twice, but Anonymous Web says it 3 times just to be sure.
Ken, 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 Ken.
A big mistake he later regrets.
Ken.
It looks like he uses one of the candles to set the doll's dress aflame. You can hear him pick up a candle and slam it down really fast. But look again, there's no candle where his free hand is. He even puts paper down where the candle would theoretically have to be. There are only 2 candles within reach, these 2, and he clearly doesn't touch either of them when the doll goes up in flames. The reason why I've shown you these 2 videos is to better explain the third. On June 2nd, 2020, exactly 13 days after releasing the curse of the previous doll, something began rummaging around his bedroom from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. It starts around his dresser. Then it moves to the far wall. After pulling on the doorknob with all its strength, it sounds exhausted afterwards and can't get free. After a long time, it returns to stomp across the room. And later that night, it gets out. So this would be terrifying if it was real, but I'm not sure if it's fake. I think he could have been standing behind the dresser and pushed the flowers over himself. Likewise, he could have reached around and opened the drawers himself. The footsteps and exhale would have been his own. He could have touched the bed himself off camera to make it squeak, but I don't know how he moved the picture. That's really strange. And then there's the very end when he comes back into the room and sees his room is messed up.
Yeah, f*** you.
Someone could have shut off the camera from the bottom, but at 2 minutes and 7 seconds you can see the entire doorway immediately after it happens, and no one is there. Fari hunters kneel over the remains of a wild lion, each too busy posing to notice another member of the pride has been following them this whole time.
That's it. Ah, go, pump him. That's it.
Are you gonna work on this?
Right, let me...
As they fiddle with the camera equipment, the silent surviving lion sizes them up without a sound. It waits until they are too close to run and then pounces. Their tour guide lays on his horn to warn them, but it's far too late.
Okay, good stuff.
I'm not sure if this video is real because the lion doesn't make a sound even after it's been spotted. If this is a real video, then it's more like their final moments rather than a close call. Before this figure appears out of nowhere and then disappears just the same way. Shared on TikTok, watch this mysterious vanishing act.
Đó. Thấy gì không? Đó, cái bóng này. Đó. Thấy gì không? Nó đang đạp xe đạp nè. Đó. Kìa.
It does appear that the figure is only suddenly visible when the light flashes on them. And after it trapezes across the roadside for a moment, it vanishes into nothing. While it could just be a poor quality camera, the way the figure pixelates and disperses is utterly eerie to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm no tech expert. Can anyone clear this up for me in the comments? This video, posted by a man in the Moroccan city of Marrakesh, claims to be targeted by locals after converting to beliefs that's unpopular in the area. Men with their faces covered visit their house with a red canister filled with what I presume is gasoline and threaten to burn the place down. They seem genuinely ready to rip the door down and tear this family apart, especially when they pull out a huge blade and throw it at the door in a display of disgust. Here's the twist. According to a local news source in the area, the video is staged and was made by a family seeking asylum in America. Their anger is quite convincing, and the family really does look scared. So I want your opinion on if you think this is a performance or really a family in distress. A YouTuber named Visually Creeped TV is walking around a cemetery in Wisconsin when he hears creepy whistling from within a crypt that is locked and 100 years old. Take a look and try to tell me which direction you think it's coming from.
Let's go walk down here. What the
The only thing I find odd is that he initially looks in the opposite way of the crypt. When he first hears the noise, if the whistle was truly coming from inside of the crypt, I think he would instinctively turn the other way. He quickly walks around the crypt to verify no one is around, and then he hears the whistle again, this time where he just was moments ago.
Oh, like right behind me. Hello?
Overall, there's no easy way to fake this video. It doesn't really sound like speakers or anything like that, and it does sound like it's coming from inside of this structure, but the gates are chained shut. Solo Ambush goes to a haunted shack that's been abandoned in the jungle. The place is haunted by two evil shamans, conjoined twins connected at the hip. Solo Ambush is ready to live up to his reputation and confront them both on live stream. He finds odd evidence in the pages of an old book that could be paranormal incantations of some kind. Tell me what he says here and anything you can about what's written in the book.
So ini adalah salah satu daripadanya. Okay, yang berbahasa Siam. Aku akan bawa balik buku ini ya.
I'm especially interested in what this page says. It has a picture of the world on it and a list. He stares at this page for the longest of all. For some reason, he lights 5 candles in the attic and says something to the shaman.
Okay, sila keluar. Aku cabar segala jin, kadam, pesuruh, dukun.
Maybe it has to do with what he just read. Whatever he recites, it works. Notice how the shadows start moving when the noise begins, and how they stop moving when the noise ends. Final analysis: these scary moments caught on livestream video are paranormal and creepy beyond belief. It's like the ghost is walking right up and standing over him. It looks like Solo Ambush is the one getting ambushed this time. While camping out at this haunted castle, a rustling is heard in the forest. Published by Exploring with Fighters, this YouTuber is exploring the abandoned ruins of Liverpool Castle. Being hundreds of years old, these castle ruins are bound to be haunted, and they're about to give the explorer a taste of fear. As he tries to sleep, his dog is alerted to a rustling sound outside their tent.
Thought she was doing her goose impressions. She started doing her goose impressions because there's a weird noise coming towards us.
Noting that an owl has kept him up all night, the explorer was wide awake already, and even more so when the mysterious noise seems to be coming toward them.
An owl has kept me awake most of the night.
While the suspense builds, nothing reveals itself, leaving us to wonder what was lurking outside the explorer's tent. Was it man or beast, or something else? Raptor125 puts on a GoPro cam and takes his dirt bike out to make a YouTube video. It isn't long before he sees a familiar gray truck, the same one that chased him away from this area just the other day. He is only riding for about 2 full minutes when he sees the same truck again, much closer this time. Fearing for his life, Raptor125 speeds out of the neighborhood and onto a dirt track, the gray truck on his tail the whole time. Not even sharp turns at high speeds are enough to get the vehicle off him, and Raptor125 has little doubt that this person has the worst intentions possible waiting for him if he slows down. If he falls off his bike at this moment, for example, then there wouldn't be enough time for the driver to swerve out of the way. The chase only ends when a farmer watching the whole thing stops the truck. Otherwise, who knows how far this chase would have gone. This miniature forest figure has viewers puzzled. Posted on TikTok by Satpam Horror, a small Barbie-sized creature was captured walking at the edge of the forest. Watch closely.
Ada tuyul bah. Gila.
The figure looks just like a human in miniature. What is it though? I'm not sure what this humanoid creature could be, but its movements do not look animated, and it seems to blend well with the setting. Any ideas? Leave them in the comment. A large white creature has been constantly creeping around the yard of a YouTuber named Sans for a long time now, and no one knows what it is. The latest sighting happens during broad daylight, and his camera is able to pick up more detail than ever before. You can see here that the creature is not very big, roughly around the same size of a nearby dog, and judging from this dog's behavior, I'd say this is clearly a real creature and not one of his friends wearing a costume. If you need more proof that this isn't a person, watch how it scratches its head with its foot at a weird angle. No human would be able to kick that fast. I would say that this is a rabbit, but I don't really see any ears and the legs look distinctly human when it walks. Tell me what animal you think this is. Until I get a better explanation, I will continue thinking that this is probably a humanoid of some kind. This scary highway encounter would have easily gone unnoticed forever, if not for a dashcam recording. Pay attention to the bottom right and you'll see a blurry figure slip under the car in a matter of seconds. Pause the video and you'll see the undeniable outline of a girl from the waist up. She appears to be wearing a white dress and staring ahead with a gray face. I guess this could be light reflecting off of the pavement. But this also really does look like the outline of a person who was once living. Maybe every so often they appear in the exact same location where they sadly lost their life years ago. Published to YouTube by Proving Demons in May of 2020. You might want to call your local exorcist after watching this video. The uploader explains that the house they entered is known to have been the site of an exorcism, and they were exploring it to capture paranormal activity. He writes, while experiencing heavy poltergeist activity, I could feel the demon inside trying to possess me as it did the previous owner, who is now insane in a mental institution. From that point, our ghost hunt took a turn for the worst. Let's take that turn with them. After hiking up to the abandoned building and entering through a crawl hole, the crew finds the inside looks like a surreal art shed. Colorful paper lanterns hang, arrows are pointing every which way. All natural light in the place is framed by gothic windows. At first, the general aura of the place is curious rather than creepy. There are lots of scraps of paper posted to a board, a large map, a guitar hanging on one wall, As one YouTuber, Lavender Rainbow, points out, there's a pamphlet on the wall later in the clip at 16 minutes 29 seconds that reads, Bipolar Disorder Survival Guide. So maybe the person living here was trying to seek psychiatric help. You find yourself wishing you were there, so you might examine things up close and learn more. But then the crew hears a woman screaming. They head towards a back room, with one of the dudes mentioning that they hadn't even made sure they were alone in this building. In fact, the building looks very lived in, not abandoned. There's what looks like a bed in the next room with blankets on it, a full backpack beside it, clothes hanging. Are they alone? He continues into the next room, hearing others inside, but it turns out just to be his own crew. You can hear a lot of sounds and things moving, like there are animals on the roof. Next, the door closes behind him by itself. They use the EVP to see if anyone's there in the home with them. The quick reply is yes. They also hear the words demon, as well as a warning, get out now. The demon tells them they have no right to be there. Andrew says he's starting to feel affected and his hands are shaking. And moments later, something falls off the shelf. Even scarier are the Polaroids that they find of what appears to be an authentic exorcism or ritual of some sort. What do you think went on in this makeshift cathedral of a home? A possession? Would you feel comfortable in the demon's skin? This house of music is turning into a somber melody. YouTuber Max from Paranormal Point pulls an overnighter in the abandoned music house, and it has no more lullabies. Max quickly senses something is there. After a while, whatever is possessing this house is impacting him too.
Мне сейчас стало не по себе, у меня закружилась голова, резкая слабость в теле. Я не знаю, что это происходит. Вообще я себя странно чувствую.
And it appears that there's something behind him. An EVP session produces a message from the spirits.
Ты главное не бойся их.
And we discover what this house is.
Этот дом портал для мертвых душ.
That's not all either.
Теперь их много.
According to the spirit, there are a lot of souls here. I think Max better take that as his cue to leave before he becomes one of them. A small flying white cylinder has been spotted multiple times in this area 51 mountain range. I don't think this is CGI because the video quality does not look blurry at all and is pretty good for the mid-90s.
This is just about the same area, a similar metallic object.
Keep in mind that this was decades before drones were available, so it can't be that. The UFO is also too big to be a remote-controlled helicopter, which was pretty much the only thing that could hover like this back then. So I definitely agree that this could be a UFO. While spending the night in an abandoned boarding house, the unthinkable happened. Published by Toppy in May of 2022, this paranormal crew captured whispers on camera, asking for help. These whispers are quite faint, but they think it sounds like a woman's voice. Shortly after, they hear footsteps at a distance. In a hallway of the boarding house, the team sets up a stationary camera. Apart from several EVPs, it captures this. A rock is kicked with great force down the length of the hall. Do former pupils still call this boarding house home? And what do they want with the living? Scary restaurant video was captured in a bar in Singapore late at night. First, a stool falls over, which I guess could just be a string, but their reaction seems realistic as they all question how this could happen. The entire time, none of them realize that they are being watched by the faint outline of a woman who does not move or make a noise. Maybe it's just me, but it almost looks like this woman's feet are off the ground and she is suspended in the air. This deer looks like it could be fine, except it's walking in circles with its tongue hanging out without a clue of its surroundings. A telltale sign of CWD. The person recording thinks this could be the work of hunters, but I disagree. Watch this part and tell me what you really think happened.
Oh yeah, I got shot.
The deer circles in place for well over a minute and then silently walks out to a nearby field. The way it is walking here makes me think that this is the result of something to do with the brain. The animal is so out of it that it looks ready to walk through the front door of a nearby home. Perhaps this exact scenario is precisely how it will one day spread to humans. I really hope this incident was reported to the proper wildlife agency for further investigation. Are you willing to risk your life for a thrill? Before you put on your hiking shoes, watch this video of Hen Mountain, published to YouTube in June of 2018. An unsubstantiated rumor is that the mountain takes 100 lives annually, and after watching this footage, it certainly seems plausible. Pedro writes, once you are going up the mountain, there is not much protection for you. One of the most difficult parts of the hike is the cliffside plank walk. You are quite literally walking the plank, hanging on to the side of a mountain peak for dear life. Pedro notes that it's one of the mountain's most popular attractions, and there's often a 3 or more hour queue to walk the plank, as you can see in the video. When Pedro arrives at the plank, he's one among many climbers hanging onto a rusty old chain as they take their precarious steps along the piece of broken wood. A 7,070-foot drop lies below. Pedro says some people take off their harness in order to capture better photos, hence the risk of the mountain. Climbing the mountain is enough of a risk, makes you wonder, is a photo really worth your life? While on duty at a hospital one night, a security guard noticed something alarming on CCTV footage at around 11 p.m. Let's take a look. The mysterious ball of fire is later seen returning from the other end of the hall. The security officer notes that senior officers said this phenomenon is unexplained, but not uncommon. Many attest to having seen a child spirit, as well as the apparition of a young woman wandering the grounds of this place. Is this one of their souls? I'd like to believe it is, but we can't rule out your run-of-the-mill bug anomaly either. Weigh in with your opinion in the comments. Mina is making a TikTok video home alone when the door behind mysteriously creaks open to reveal an empty room on the other side. You can see she looks slightly confused but not scared as she turns around and then back again. This looks like a paranormal video at first, but look again. Follow the top of the door and you'll see that it's slightly ajar at the very beginning of the video. So this is probably just a draft blowing it open the rest of the way. A man follows footprints across a vast and frozen landscape at night with only his camera light to guide him. The sound of each step amplified by crisp fallen snow crushed underfoot. The mysterious footprints trail off at a lone tree, evenly split down the middle. He looks up, 2 peering eyes reflect back at him, and he immediately runs away. The eyes are low and spread apart, so it could be some wildlife, maybe an owl, but that still doesn't explain why the footsteps lead directly to this spot, nor does it explain what happened at 38 seconds when this creature might close one eye to give a knowing wink. While exploring a haunted location in Orlando, Redditor Callie1939 captured this on SLS video. Watch closely. Later, as they walked past that same area, many in the comments think the Connect is simply picking up 2 gravestones, which is why it jumped to the next 2 gravestones, making it look like the figure was walking away from them. I tend to agree, but it is curious that the EM detector went off in the same location. What do you think? Who is standing at the end of the hallway? Published by Find Ghost in December of 2021, this short clip captures a ghost girl on camera in a haunted home. As ghost hunters are searching around this room, the camera pans around. Look closely at the end of the hallway. A creepy figure can be seen standing there with long white hair and a darkened face. When the cameraman pans back a moment later, the figure is gone. Would you leave? The caption says. I'm already gone. A terrible demon has set up shop in this house, and Dennis from Dark Ghost Paranormal is about to face its wrath. The demon first makes its presence known in the wardrobe. With his nerves on edge, Dennis asks the demon to reveal himself.
Ответь мне, кто ты?
Then things get real creepy. Moments later, the demon's face appears on Dennis's camera, after which this happens. The demon has definitely been released, and if I were Dennis, I'd be careful. It seems like this one means business. Donnie and Leanne share a YouTube channel, and both of them were shocked to catch this freakish figure on their doorbell cam. A girl in a doll mask with deep, cracked, creepy eyes. I'm sure you're thinking this is a Halloween video, and so is I, but look at her hands. She has nothing to carry candy in, and no friends or parents are around. Plus, this video was recorded in July of 2019, not October. And look at the time, just before midnight. When she rings the doorbell, an old nursery rhyme plays out of nowhere. Some people are saying the music was edited, while others think this is real. I agree that, well, this is one of the creepiest videos I've seen in a while. Something about it looks staged. Their channel has some videos with their young daughter in it, who is about the same size, so it could have been her. Or maybe this is a random stranger who just wanted to play a joke on her neighbors in the middle of the night and knew exactly what to do to leave them creeped out. Do You Want to Play? Published by King Crimson in January of 2013. This is just one of many experiences of paranormal activity in this house. The YouTuber says that he left his camera in the kitchen to try and capture more of the activity going on in his home, and this is what it caught. The footage shows a child playing with alphabet refrigerator magnets that are randomly arranged on the fridge. As the child moves them around, suddenly the grouped magnets scatter, some of them appearing to fall right off the fridge. The child doesn't know what happened. He runs into the next room, presumably to get an adult. The YouTuber writes, "I don't know what to believe anymore. This is really starting to freak me out. The only way this would be freakier is if the magnet spelt out 666. Florida resident Candace Spivey was shopping at Target when she was approached by a stranger. This man started a polite conversation with her, but something was wrong. The same man had done this same thing to her earlier at a grocery store.
Do you remember running into me in the grocery store? No, hey, where are you going? Come back. Hey, get this guy. Stop him. Stop this guy. Stop him. Stop that guy. Call the cops. Call the cops on him. Call the cops.
As soon as she confronts the man on it, he takes off and she follows him out of the store. Apparently, this was a registered offender who secretly recorded women. This just goes to show you never know who the real person is behind a polite stranger. Hopefully this man stopped his horrible actions after being publicly confronted like this. YouTube team The Haunted Side Paranormal Investigations is spending the night at this place at Harmon Road. I can't say exactly what went on in this building, but let's just say men would pay to be with the women who worked there. Before long, one of their REM pods goes off.
Oh, yeah, so it's been a minute.
Did you hear that? There's a REM pod. Did you hear it?
I heard it thump.
No, that was me walking on this, but I heard the REM pod go off.
They continue their search and meet an unwanted guest.
Could you... Whoa, no. Did you see that, dude?
I did.
I was a... Oh no.
It's a bat.
As they're trying to communicate through paranormal devices, they hear a sound in the building.
Look at that. Is that you? I'm not close enough.
No.
And it'd still be going off if that was me.
A moment later, a bang is heard.
But it's not necessarily that the words are making sense. Heard. I heard that, bro. Did you hear that?
And then another.
I know you heard that, bro.
In another hallway, they hear what sounds like talking.
I heard something.
The spirit seems to want them to stay.
Do you want us to stay? Whoa. Did you hear that?
That was really nice.
I swear to God, it sounded like something came right, like walked up.
When they knock, the spirit knocks back.
Can you make a noise like this?
Did you hear that?
It was like almost immediate,
Yes.
bro. It was like gung gung.
And then they hear this unnerving moan.
Whoa!
What the?
I heard a before that. Did you hear the breath before that? I know you heard that, dude. It was like...
In another room, one of their paranormal devices goes off.
Can you step away? See, that wouldn't.
They keep hearing these mysterious noises.
What the?
I heard a whistle, and then I heard something in there go like...
That's exactly what I heard, was the whistle part.
And their devices continue to be triggered.
Also got the... Ooh. Okay. Also got the SLS camera, or sorry, the...
I think there are too many creepy, unexplained noises in this building to suggest anything but paranormal activity. I also propose that this channel consider renaming this video to Did You Hear That, Bro?
Did you hear that, bro? That was loud.
This haunted home has visible spirits stalking about. Published by A Sip of Fear in January of 2022, an unsettling figure was captured in the glass during this paranormal investigation. After setting up some cameras in this haunted home, activity begins pretty quickly. A wardrobe door is captured opening and closing, and later a bang causes the paranormal investigator to jump out of his skin. In another room, a stationary camera captures a figure's reflection in the glass door of a shelf. and again the wardrobe door opens and closes repeatedly. Is this spirit trying to tell us something? Or does she just want to be left alone? An encounter with a lady in white might seem harmless, but this one is 100% impure. This scary video was originally published by Exploring with Danny. As Danny is exploring a wooded area, he remarks that he saw something that has completely vanished.
And the last time I was here, there was a demon here. I was faced with a demon. And this is the location right here. Now I am going to show you.
He shouts into the darkness, and that's when you see that something has not completely vanished at all. A black-haired figure with a pale face lurks just out of sight. When Danny zooms in, you can see that the female figure is making its way toward him out of the mouth of a tunnel.
Hello? He's just right there. Hello? Are you okay? Hello?
The figure climbs out of the darkness, her dirty white dress getting dirtier, while Danny commands her to stay back. She doesn't listen.
In the name of Jesus, I command you to stay back, right now. Stay right back.
Danny turns around to make a run for it, but the figure continues to stalk him, climbing up a hill and creeping toward him.
Stay back! I'm warning you! Jesus, I command you to stay away!
What is this evil, and what does she want with Danny? He'd better escape before she pulls him back down into her lair.
What the
When this small plane's propeller stopped moving, it was forced to emergency land. We're now experiencing engine failure, says the man videotaping the event. If there's a place to land, we shall be okay. He speaks rather calmly considering their propeller froze midair. The sky around the hilly region appears murky, and there's clearly some strong wind tearing at the aircraft. Find a flat ground so that rescue vehicles can come in, the man says. He places all responsibility on the pilot, telling him, "It all relies on your experience now." The pair find a piece of land in the water to force landing upon, and again he emphasizes how they're all relying on the captain. The plane quickly descends and hits the ground with a thud. They strike a rock, but the pair lives. When they rather calmly land, the man videoing the incident thanks the captain for saving his life. The captain says he told someone this plane wasn't good to go. If this video doesn't get your heart racing, it certainly did for this guy. His name is Daniel Stanley, and he gets so pumped up that he can make his heart do this. Watch this and tell me if you know what medical condition this is called. I couldn't find much information on this person, aside from the name and his reputation for being able to make his heart race so hard, it nearly pops out of his chest. So please fill me in about his life if you happen to know more. An African expedition becomes tense when a group sees a hippo nearby and then lose sight of it.
I was hit by it for sure, y'all. He just kept charging. He was feeding it.
Hippos are known to overturn boats and other craft, so they have to be careful.
Just watch, because he charged down this channel there.
Just when one of them says it could be nearby, the animal comes out of the water and gives them a surprise. Fortunately, this one looks like a scared juvenile that just wants to get out of there more than anything. If it was a few years older, this video would have probably come to a much more brutal channel called Love to Investigate has one of the creepiest ghost videos ever. A sighting that looks real and must have been terrifying for them to have caught on camera.
I don't like looking behind shower curtains, that just creeps me right out. The bathroom again. That's pretty cool, that is.
They are exploring a haunted mental asylum when the spirit of a former patient glares at them from the hallway. When they look up, it's leaving as she makes a comment about the smell.
That's pretty cool, that is. Smells like an hospital in this part, definitely.
The apparition has long black braids and wears a long dress that women had to wear at the mental asylum long ago. The paranormal investigator later comments that they had no idea they were being watched by the supernatural at the time. Had they known, they would have ran away in the opposite direction. A paranormal investigator who goes by Bakersfield Paranormal Services sadly lost his mother and is filled with grief. Even though he is very distraught, he wants to communicate with her. He goes to the cemetery with his equipment and approaches his mother's marker. At first, he asks some basic questions and has her respond by playing with the lights.
Are you always around me and my wife and my kids? Thank you. Emotions there, Mom. Do you love my wife? Okay, I got it. I got it.
After a while, he pulls out what he calls a ghost box, which supposedly allows his mother to communicate using various radio frequencies. He believes other spirits are crowding around the box and keeping his mom from communicating.
Mom, can you please speak to me? You're trying to?
He thinks she says, "I'm trying to," but I think it kind of sounds like she might be saying, "I love you." Listen to it again and let me know what you hear during this part. A YouTuber named RJFD gets a phone call from a friend telling him to look at the sky. He goes outside and doesn't really see anything at first. It sounds like thousands of fireworks going off at once, but this is late at night in the middle of winter in small town Michigan, so that doesn't make sense. There were no fireworks planned at all. Then the entire sky changes color.
What is that?
If fireworks is truly not the answer, then the only other explanation I have is some sort of strange weather phenomenon. Let me know if you think you have a logical reason for what's going on here, because I'm really not sure and neither is anyone in the comments section of this video. A YouTuber named Isaac Telford gathers a group of friends with one goal in mind.
We're exploring an abandoned house.
Haunted or not, they are certain they will be able to go exploring the house without a problem. As they laugh and joke their way from room to room, they start to get the feeling that this house might not be so abandoned after all.
Dude, there's a bed.
Is it made? Yo, there's a bed.
There's like pillows and everything. Yeah, hold on, guys.
Abandoned houses don't tend to have perfectly made beds. Clothing items are randomly discarded and create an impression that someone has been staying here for some time.
We're trying. Hey, what's going on upstairs? Yeah, let's go. Let's try to talk to a ghost, alright?
This is the basement, guys. We're gonna go down in it. Alright, let's go, boys.
It looks like mostly random clutter, but seriously, somebody please tell me what's up with the huge pile of shoes. There are shoes of all different sizes, men's and women's, an odd collection to have. It's like they're being kept as trophies. Soon they leave the house and want to go exploring an abandoned nearby prison instead. They pull up to the haunted place and are about to go inside when something bizarre happens.
Okay, hold on. We have a car. Dude, there's never been a car on this road.
Hey, maybe we're just gonna try and Oh, are they flashing again?
Isaac makes a turn and quickly shuts off his headlights.
Oh my. Dude, I think they saw us. Okay, we're gonna take off.
They wait in the darkness and eventually the car passes. It's late at night by now, and Isaac is nervous and tired and makes a wrong turn into a construction yard. That's when they meet up with the mysterious car again. He turns off the camera because getting out of there is more important than getting content. They managed to escape this time, but I have little doubt this was probably the same person living in the old house they explored earlier. They seem to have made an enemy out of this stranger by exploring his house. Hopefully he isn't planning to one day go exploring their houses in return. We've all heard of the Headless Horseman, but have you heard of the Headless Errand Boy? Published to YouTube in February of 2020, this clip will have you doing a double take. The clip shows what appears to be a man without a head in Asia carrying a shopping bag as if just running some errands. He walks out into traffic and slides between two cars to cross the street. No one around seems to notice the oddity. The fact that he's without a head phases no one. The car he cuts in front of even beeps loudly, just hurrying him to get out of their way. So are our eyes deceiving us? Or is this just some fancy edit? This one has me scratching my head. 2. A second entry on this list explores Hill House, the most haunted house in Texas. This time, YouTuber Kelsey Davis, who is a psychic medium, feels the presence there.
I have chills right now. There's someone behind me. I think it's Toby.
I'm getting the chills. Toby.
And she hears it too.
Oh my. Kelsey, it started running. Oh, he started running.
Towards you?
Yes. It was loud. You heard his foot. It was like that.
As they're turning on the Spirit app, they hear another terrible bump.
Kelsey.
Later, a paranormal device goes off, as does a child's toy.
Where's that coming from?
It's upstairs.
It's Josh's room.
Get the out of here. No, this.
That is
This.
What was that?
It's a toy.
That's in Josh's room.
They head up to Josh's room to see what toy was triggered.
Hi, Joshua. What?
Something ran up again, ran at me.
Ran at you?
Yeah.
What does that sound?
Where's that coming from?
I think I've had enough of Hill House. I'm 100% positive that if I paid this place a visit, I'd leave with my pants brown. Next time you're in India, cruising in the UP, you might want to avoid driving in the rain. This couple was nearly consumed by an unseen pit or manhole. Thankfully, bypassers came to their aid. After the couple was pulled to safety, I'm sure there wasn't much that could be done to save the scooter. The husband was a cop, and both did not walk away from the incident unscathed. I think this serves as an example to exercise extreme caution when driving through any body of water. If you don't believe in witches, history tells us that at some point many did, and innocent people had their lives taken because of it. Published to YouTube in August of 2020, Exploring with Danny writes, the trials of the Pendle Witches in 1612 are among the most famous witch trials in English history, and some of the best recorded of the 17th century. The 12 accused lived in the area surrounding Pendle Hill in Lancashire, and were charged. Danny explores this historical area in the darkness of night, going through the flooded grounds of the forest, alongside old stone fences, above and beyond the history. The forest is spooky in and of itself. Not only do animals regularly wail while Danny enters the forest, but the remoteness, the wind and rain, and the strange and random items he comes across makes for an even spookier encounter. He first comes across a bathtub filled with dirt and a red liquid. Still, he enters deeper in the forest, only to say Bloody Mary 3 times into a mirror posted up on a tree.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
And look who appears behind him in the mirror. Once Danny sees Mary, he starts to wander in the forest, looking for her. Whatever this is chases Danny out of the forest. When he at last arrives to his car, you think he's finally safe. Think again. If this doesn't make you fear ever going to this location, what will? This building is teeming with poltergeists, and YouTuber Han Kardashler is about to face off with them. They throw the first punch as soon as he enters, and they don't let up. They continue as he moves around the building.
Şaka mı bu ya? Gassal. Oğlum nereden geliyor sesin? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
But he doesn't leave until they become more aggressive. What do you think? Would you stick around in here? I think there aren't many worse places to be. A YouTuber named The Inception of Yara Phoenix captures a scary moment on camera while exploring India. While doing some kind of construction work, a member of this crew holds a spike in place while another swings a heavy hammer a few feet from his head. The man is leaning away as far as he can, but with no helmet and no other kind of protection, not even a barrier to keep pedestrians from walking into him. It really does seem like a matter of time before something really scary happens. Take a listen for yourself.
And he's one miss and you're...
Those are some heavy blows that there would be no recovering from if a mistake were to happen. I can only imagine how scary it would be to be working in that position, putting your life in the hands of somebody else who you probably barely know, hearing the sound of the hammer coming so close over and over again. This scary moment caught on tape is no doubt 100% real, and this is exactly what makes it so terrifying. It's a rainy day in Bradford, Pennsylvania, and a YouTuber named Bulldog is with his girlfriend in the backyard. They are taking random videos and talking about nothing in particular when they encounter something that makes them think they are not so alone after all.
Whoa, that was weird. I just saw something run across the screen.
Liar.
Some sort of smoke or mist appears to briefly transform into the shape of a person, taking a few brisk steps, and then fully dissipates. Bulldog says it looked like someone who is running, and I agree that it does resemble the upper torso and shoulders of someone in motion. With that said, it looks to me like the figure may also be lacking a head. It's 2 at night when this doorbell cam captures something that really shouldn't be possible. Pay attention to the area by the white railing to see it. Some kind of smoky blur appears out of nowhere and paces back and forth twice before disappearing. The uploader insists that this is a ghost, and I agree that it is a strong possibility. Look again and it almost looks like a large head accompanied by 2 hanging arms, or at least that's what I see. Let me know if you can see it as well. Got caves. Are the Owen Nagat Caves the most haunted place on Earth? YouTube team Dark Arts TV is determined to find out in this chilling video. They arrive at the mysterious mouth of the cave. Do they dare enter? Perhaps they shouldn't have. While inside, they hear a mysterious whistle.
Oh my, did you just hear that? The whistle. Even.
Using a spirit box, they're delivered this creepy message.
By her. Killed by her.
Frightened.
They then hear another whistle.
Did you just hear that? Did you just hear that?
They capture a recording that puts them on edge.
Get out. Kill him.
No, I'm hearing get and then get out.
What?
Yeah.
It sounds like get out.
Face the camera.
I hear what Carl heard on that one. They then discover these random trinkets shoved in a hidey hole.
Cursed items, are they?
We don't know, do we? It just seems a bit random. There's a shell in there as well. Why is that there?
Mom. I wonder, look at the offerings.
And they find these random markings on the wall, followed by a moan.
Whoa, do you hear that?
Yeah, moan.
Yeah, the moan. We can hear you.
Using headphones and a version of the Estes method, Sarah gets really freaked out by what she hears. I think they should beware.
That's the first actual voice that came through. First I was scary, but it was weird. But that was the clearest guttural. It was like a man's voice going, beware. That was beware.
It's interesting because I'm pretty much taught in it now.
Each message they receive from the beyond gets creepier by the minute. Number 9. Luke either has a problem with his car's motion detection system or his house is haunted. No in-betweens. So I know it's probably mistaking the can for a person because they're about the same size, but why does it suddenly do this? The trash can obviously doesn't move, and yet the icon abruptly turns towards him after 20 seconds of recording. It doesn't turn left, it doesn't look behind, it looks straight his way for no reason. Is this a real ghost sighting video or a glitch with his car? Something has crawled up this poor woman's leg and refuses to come out. Her friend almost has it by the tail, but then at the last second it does the unthinkable and burrows even deeper. The scared animal probably would have gone up way higher if she didn't stand up in time and let gravity force it back down. She is either trying not to scream or lose her lunch as her friend tries again, this time wrapping its tail around his index finger. He manages to extract a giant rat and quickly puts it back in its container. The rat looks used to being handled, and this is probably the only thing that kept it from trying to bite and scratch its way out. McJuggernuggets is a famous YouTuber who comes home one day only to find evidence of a serious break-in. Some of his possessions are missing, things that he is sure were in his room earlier before.
Somebody took the hard drive.
Hard drive to what?
All my behind the scenes. Somebody literally came into the house and must have taken this shit. I'm going to check the security camera.
He argues with his father for a bit about the likelihood of someone breaking in, but the security video does not lie.
Hold on, here it comes.
Sure enough, some stranger cases the house by knocking on the door a few times, even going so far as trying the knob. Soon he uses a long tool to pry open a window and reaches inside to quickly scoop up a nearby hard drive before taking off.
Oh my god, dude.
Much to McJuggernuggets' amazement, the window was right next to his bed. He soon comes to the sickening realization that this person, who was perhaps a stalker, literally reached into his room to retrieve a hard drive full of unedited video content. Who knows what this deranged fan will come back for next time? A YouTuber named X Hauntings is recording a video of some home improvements in the basement when he records a bizarre white object traveling his way at a high velocity. Normally I would say that this could be a bug or a speck of dust, but X Hauntings also recorded this crazy voice as the object passes by. Tell me if you hear a woman's voice yell, "Get out," as loud as she can. In this next part, I have no idea. I would say dust, but dust particles do not act like this. A little girl named Taylor, 7 years old, runs up to the doorbell cam after school, not out of excitement, but rather sheer fear.
No, please come open the door. There's a bobcat. I want to come in. I love my mommy.
You can tell by the fear in her voice and the crease in her brow that Taylor is not making this up. Unfortunately, the neighbor is not home yet, and Taylor has to wait a stressful minute until the car pulls up, worried she's going to encounter this wild cat the whole time. The car pulls up just before she really starts to cry. I'm really glad she's alright, but I worry the bobcat will return one day, if it's still lurking in the area. When Joey Salvatore and his friends learn that their entire neighborhood is rumored to be haunted, they go to the local cemetery and try to get something on tape. They don't really find much and eventually come back home, but it looks like something found them and managed to attach itself to a friend named Roger. Now he is standing motionless with his back to them in a dark room, and they are too freaked out to do anything more than secretly record his reflection in a mirror. After a while, he sits down and stops moving completely, so they decide to put Roger in his room and check on him later. Roger is nowhere to be found, at least not at first.
Wait, turn the light on. What the Roger! I'm done.
They are totally freaking out when Roger comes wandering back into the room completely fine, wondering what had happened. The group feels unsafe at this point and has no choice but to send Roger on his way. Eventually, Roger says that he was just playing a joke on them, but it's unclear if he really means it or if he is just in denial. The next time you shower, don't look up. Published by Tia Bassi in March of 2022, this creepy video shows what could be the hair in your drain come to life. The clip shows a shower curtain pulled to the side, while up in the corner near the ceiling is this extraterrestrial-like critter. It looks spidery, but with even more legs than usual. It somehow also looks like a great pile of tangled hair. What do you think this is? I think it's time to throw the whole house away. Every day, this YouTuber has a neighbor challenge him to come outside of his apartment to settle an imaginary score. Just to be completely clear, these people have never interacted before. This still doesn't stop her from bothering him outside of his door almost every day. At times it seems as if she imagines an answer from him. Like this part, for example. I think she hears something in her own mind, tells him to try it, and then hears another response that never happened.
Try it.
Perhaps weirdest of all is how the videos are dated throughout November and December, yet she always appears to be wearing the same outfit. Perhaps she is past the point of keeping basic hygiene habits and needs to be taken somewhere safe that can care for her. In the meantime, I hope she gets the help she needs. This footage supposedly comes from the capital of China, where a massive, slow-moving creature makes its way across the polluted city landscape. It's hard to tell how many legs this giant creature has, or what its overall intentions are. It doesn't seem to be that aggressive, but the ground shakes under its gigantic steps, and army helicopters circle above, obviously ready. According to the uploader, this footage was suppressed by the Chinese government, who has a tight grip on all forms of news and social media. This could very likely be CGI, but if it's real, then there is no information as to how this situation was ultimately resolved.
You see it?
Yeah. What is that? Gosh.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Something strange is in the woods. Nathan Arnold later writes of the unknown creature he's caught on camera. He and his son both saw it and managed to record video evidence for us to look over. Fortunately for their safety, but unfortunate for my analysis, is their distance from the figure. The creepy video was taken far away, so I don't know if this video is a creature, a ghost sighting, or not real at all. The way he and his son both stare in amazement and then run away when the mysterious figure turns in his direction seems like a real enough reaction and not made up. At 26 seconds, it almost looks like somebody wearing a black robe, like a witch or something. The possibilities are endless and none of them are good. The point is, I wouldn't be going back into those woods anytime soon if I were them. It's too scary to handle. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.